to this week's episode of Concentrated, the podcast about all of the things that we find interesting and cool as nerds of color. I'm Maria, and as always, I am joined by the lovely Manera
Hi.
and Mr. Make all the goddamn noise
All
during
the
our
noise.
intro, Eric.
Did I make a bunch of noise?
You
Yes.
Well,
made a
this
bunch of
thing
noise,
is
bro.
like all the time, so shut up.
It was all the metal clanging.
Oh, just click, 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 click. Ugh. Anyway, this week we figured everybody has had to do something or get into something to really just try to be comfortable in this crazy world that we live in. And each of us uniquely have things that we're into besides, hanging out and talking to you guys. So in our first of these comfort episodes, we're going to be focused on allowing Eric to show us his biggest comfort, which comes in the form of art. But before we get into this, and hopefully he's going to give us a tour of all of the amazing artwork that he has in his house, right? Fingers crossed. Yes, no, maybe.
He don't want people in his house.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not taking you all around the place. You'll see what's in my immediate vicinity.
All right. Well,
I have a
before we
separate camera for detachable walking around, but again, I'm not taking you through the whole house and showing you.
no,
I don't want people robbing him. It's
You're
robbing
not going
season.
to do your MTV crib store? No,
No.
we're not getting that.
I don't want randos just popping up.
Right.
That piece of mail had his name on it and his address.
I saw that thing that you like. Is it here? Do you have it? No.
Well, before we take a tour of Eric's house, it is time for him to actually give us some news.
News.
Pew, pew. The finger guns, the sexy finger gun dance.
That was the sexy thing
Yep.
I don't think you should ever do that again.
ever, ever, ever.
It works so well that I am single. It works too well.
You just going around doing that?
Yep.
Maybe
That I go to
you just
are real
still doing
places.
it.
Yep.
Oh my
Bust it out.
gosh!
And it is irresistible. Anyway, I got a death. It was kind of a shocker because I didn't know he was sick. Siegfried of Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
81 of cancer.
Oh.
Didn't
No,
Roy
wait.
die?
Which one was the one that got mauled by the tiger?
Tiger.
I do not remember, honestly.
He didn't die from that.
No,
but
he didn't.
I don't remember which one it was. I feel like it was Siegfried that got mauled. Huh. Well, regardless, he was what, 81 years old, you said?
81.
Oh, he lived a good life.
Actually, Roy died last year in
Yeah,
May.
I thought so.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought
missed
that
that
was
one.
the last one that was like hanging on.
Well, it was just the two of them. If the tiger died, then I'd be worried.
Well,
Apparently, a lot of tigers have died that they had, so there's also that.
Well, they're no Tiger King, but I'm pretty sure a lot of their assistants get mauled or eaten.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to, this one's kind of bittersweet news. We got the news from Issa Rae directly that Insecure is set to end with season 5, which will be the one coming out soon. So this will be the last Insecure.
I'm okay with that.
same.
I'm okay if they're since they're going out on their own terms.
Right.
It's not like they got canceled or they're not.
Prolonging it.
They're not prolonging it and giving it a chance to get bad.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I think that a lot of the storyline should have an ending, right? Like a lot of the things that are going on in all of their individual lives, like there should be closure for that. So yeah, I think this is go out on top.
I'm interested to see if they bring back Manera's favorite Muppet.
Daniel?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Daniel. Okay, so I hate Daniel on the show. However, Daniel in the photograph was lovely. I enjoyed him very much. He acted his ass off, and I could. I mean, I'd see him in something else in other Issa productions. I don't think Daniel needs to come back. I think it's really just the Lawrence and Issa.
the character?
Huh?
Do you just hate Daniel the character?
He had a really big head. And yeah, I just didn't. There was no reason for him to come back except for to break up Issa and Lawrence because they weren't breaking themselves up.
Well, I mean, fuckboy Lawrence needs to figure it out. So that's all I want. I just want there to be a happy ending for Issa that doesn't include fuckboy Lawrence. Because newsflash, he's a fuckboy.
It's
All right.
gonna be Lawrence. Listen,
I
the
know.
happy ending that we're going to get is between her and Molly, because it's really just her and Molly. That's the relationship of the show. So
Well, they do have to also dive more into if that baby is his.
that baby is his.
Yikes,
Stop
that
it.
baby
I don't
is
think
his.
that Condola was sleeping around. I don't get a shifty feeling from Condola in the she's trying to trap him. That's
No,
not what
I'm more interested in like where's that gonna go? Because obviously at some point he's going to have to not say make a choice, but like this is going to come to a head at some point. How is this going to be handled?
I think
It's a major plot point.
I think it's going to show Issa that she can't be as needy as she is, because Issa's very needy. And so there's something that's bigger than you that you may need to take a back seat for. And I think she's going to have to navigate that. So that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah. I think they announced also when that new season is premiering, didn't they?
Did they?
I want to say sometime in March.
Don't remember that, but if they
My
did,
birthday?
listen
Yes.
here, champ. You already
For
got
me?
you already got enough going on your birthday month with your big head Anthony Mackie.
I
and
can
your Winter
always have
Soldier.
more. I can always have more.
Well, that's one of my other stories. We also got the news
That his head's smaller?
no, in the month of March, we got the release date for Kong versus Godzilla.
We did do that.
Mm-hmm.
How are they releasing it? Online, right?
They are releasing it in theaters and on HBO Max.
Oh, right, because of the whole Warner Brothers thing.
Yeah.
I'm okay
I'll
with
watch
that.
the hell out of
sounds
that.
Great. Hell yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The actual release date is March 26th, and it'll be
My
released simultaneously
birthday? No.
in theaters and on HBO Max. So maybe we do like we did Wonder Woman and hopefully have better results where we all just crowd around my couch and be socially distant and watch it on this amazingly giant 4K TV.
I mean, all we really.
Okay.
Oh.
Like you didn't catch the subtle stuff.
No. It was a humble praise.
Bitch, I bought
It
this
was a
TV
humble
for a
brag.
reason.
It was very much a humble brag. Like, listen, I mean, we can all social distance around this big TV that I have. For me.
Exactly.
In my house.
Right.
that
We can
I
all be
bought.
6 feet apart and still see this giant TV.
Because my TV's so big, y'all. We can
Yep.
all
I have a
6 feet
giant
apart.
television, everyone.
I bought it because of the pandemic. I was thinking.
You a bougie bitch. Anyway.
Dr. Fauci called me and was like, "That's a good job, Eric. That's a great TV. Everyone can see from 6 feet or more away."
Your
My-
Fauci
my-
is a little scratchy, but it's kind
My
of
my
spot
Fauci
on.
sound. I'm mixing my Fauci and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Oh my gosh. All right.
All right.
What else you got?
Moving along in more release news, we got the news that Sony is now officially pushing Morbius from March 19th, because that ain't gonna fucking happen, to October 8th. That's its new release date, hopefully in theaters.
Well, there you go, Maria. Something's leaving my birthday.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you should be happy about that one, because
I
that's
am.
shit.
listen, that could just leave the world, and I think everyone would be okay.
It's not
no
gonna.
one is
I'd be
checking
perfectly happy with
for
that.
that.
not gonna.
I mean, I want it to be good, but we all know it's not gonna, and that's the sad part.
It doesn't seem like it's going to be good, and then they're forcing these connections between Spider-Man
Yeah.
and with all the rumors about, now the big rumor this week is that Charlie Cox was seen filming scenes for Spider-Man 3, that he'll be back as Matt Murdock from the Netflix Daredevil. It's too much going on
Yeah.
between that and
think
all
that
the
happened.
Everything
between
that's
all
going
of
on
the
Doctor
Spider-Man
Strange.
rumors. Yeah, for Doctor Strange, all those rumors about the other Spider-Man, and now they're saying Alfred Molina might be back as Dr. Octopus, all that good stuff.
It's getting very like claustrophobic for me. Like, that's a lot of people.
Okay, but
I would be fine
question.
if they did it in a very like Into the Spider-Verse way, where it's just quick scenes. Like, I don't want that person to be a
Yeah.
part of the story. Like, if you're flashing through multiverses and you're like, "Hey, there's the Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus," and Tobey Maguire turns around and goes, "Ah," and then they keep moving. I don't want it to be a major part of the story.
What was your question, Maria?
because you're talking rumors, and I need to know if this is rumor or confirmed. The casting
Is
for
it
Moon
my
Knight?
next rumor that Chris Evans is in talks to reprise his role as Steve Rogers in the MCU at some point?
No, not that one. Who cares about that?
She's sitting right next
No,
to
I
me.
was waiting. Look, I was waiting for her to yell and call me all types of names. No, I read a rumor somewhere.
I heard a rumor.
Or no, it wasn't. Well, it was the guy posted it as if it was fact, but we all know how that goes.
That's the internet. Everyone posts everything as if it's fact.
Around the villain for the Moon Knight show.
Yeah. That
That it's Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, I don't know if that's 100% confirmed. If it is, that's great casting.
Right. Yeah, because I got really excited. I'm like, ooh, that could be.
Yeah, I can see exactly who he'd be playing. They also cast, I forget the young lady's name. She plays the sister on the Hulu show Rami. She's going to be in Moon Knight as well, which is great because she is Egyptian, and the character and the backstory of Moon Knight is from Egypt.
Oh, that is fun.
Yeah. Again, her name blanks, but she's great on Rami. And
I'm
I
sure
love that
our
show.
producer will have it in a couple minutes because he also loves that show. So we'll get it in
Yeah.
a couple minutes. All right. So what other news do you have?
Well, as I was saying, Chris Evans is rumored, and he has taken to Twitter to basically troll his fans and be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
And it's like, shut your big dumb face up and sign those.
Yeah,
sign that and then
he's
post
supposed to be
something,
coming
show
back
us.
to the MCU in some form, based on how he ended in Endgame, where he is now old man Steve. Perhaps he is not going to be like. I assume this is probably something like, oh, they already filmed it and now they can kind of release to the public. I assume he'll be back in some port in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Maybe Anthony Mackie goes to him for advice and he's like, I'm just an old man, but
So
here's
he's
what
gonna
I
give
do.
him advice on where to go to get a fucking shape up. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping for.
They'll
Also,
be like, go see my man Bizzle on 132nd. He'll hook you up in Brooklyn.
also, the actress's name is May Kalamawi.
Yes, I think. Yeah.
I am probably butchering her name. I doubt she's listening to our show, but if she is, I am so sorry that I got your last name wrong. But your first name's May, and I think I got that right. So,
Yeah, like I said, she's great
what I
in the
got,
show,
all right?
and I'm
She
looking
is
forward
really
to seeing
good on
her.
the show.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
what else you got?
I got a cancellation notice. This one's more TV based. If you are a fan of the CW shows like Superman, the new Superman and Lois, and Batwoman, basically there's supposed to be a crossover episode that was supposed to happen this season between Batwoman and Superman and Lois that is canceled. And people are saying that is basically another sign that that the CW universe is going to be going away because it's that seemed like a no-brainer.
So they're not tying them together?
No, they are, but you know how on when Supergirl and the Flash first started, where they had that like crossover episode, they were supposed to do something like that, and they've decided to cancel it.
Why don't they just cancel the CW? Just all together.
That's what's basically kind of happening. Well, with the superhero shows, like all of the superhero shows are starting to go away.
I was getting ready to say Nancy Drew is starting its second season, and I need to see that baby. Don't do that.
Is it?
Yeah.
I forgot it was a thing, honestly.
Is it?
That's
Yeah.
not nice. No.
Didn't they say isn't Riverdale coming to an end soon?
Riverdale's
haven't watched-
still on?
It
Yeah.
is. I haven't watched Riverdale in some time.
I checked out most of the way through the second season.
Yep, that's
I
same.
stayed for the third season.
Yeah, no, I didn't make it to the third.
I was like, they
think I checked
canceled
out
the what was it, Katie Keene? They canceled that.
That made me sad. It was
When
funny.
we all know it should have just been a fucking Josie and the Pussycat
it
show.
should have.
which
It
is
should
why I didn't
have.
even watch it.
It should have.
Anyway, casting news. Brendan Fraser, everyone's favorite robot man from Doom Patrol, he has been cast to star in Darren Aronofsky's new film for A24, The Whale. It's kind of big news for someone like Brendan Fraser, who's kind of been out of the spotlight outside of like voice roles and a couple of little things. So this is like Aronofsky is an Oscar-winning director. This is big news.
This is
I'm
very
really excited
good
for him.
him because I don't know what happened in Hollywood that it just felt like he just got the
It's
boot.
a couple of things. One, he spoke out about a sexual assault. Also, he was broken for a few years. The Mummy movies, he did a lot of his own stunts, and they were not very well regulated. And he went through a lot of issues with his back and like multiple surgeries. And he basically described like by the third one, he was held together by like duct tape and ice packs because he was in so much pain, and like he
Oh my
kind of
God, I didn't know
dropped
that.
off the face of the earth for a few years. And he mentioned, I was watching an interview about him recently, like he was just getting nonstop surgeries to correct things and then correct the corrections. And, it's why like he does Robot Man, but like he's not in the suit. He only does the voice. And like
And
when
when
they
they do
need
the
Clint to
scenes.
be, Cliff to be
Yeah.
on the, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm very happy for him. I've always been a fan. There's not much that he's done that I don't like. And
Yeah.
honestly, between the first two Mummy movies, we're going to forget the Scorpion King altogether. And
Well, you forget about Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. That was the actual third one
oh, that's right. I forgot about
with
that
Jet
one
Li.
too. Yeah.
That was also a weird one because Jet Li was only available for like a week at a time.
Yeah,
So like
it was.
most of the time it was just the CG like terracotta Jet Li,
Yeah.
or they turned him into a dragon for some reason.
Which wasn't terrible. I mean, nothing is worse than Scorpion King, but it definitely
It
wasn't
wasn't
good.
terrible,
So
but it
what's
was
the worst
weird because what's her name? Rachel Weisz quit. She was like, I don't like the script. I don't want to be back in it. And then they brought in Maria Bello, who is American, to do a really bad English accent and play his wife. And then they tried to set it up to be a spinoff about their son, who is now in his 20s. And that apparently got the boot because the movie didn't do very well.
Yeah. But I mean, between that and what is it? Not Bedazzled. What's the
I love that.
Bedazzled?
Don't
yeah,
do that.
Bedazzled. Okay, yeah, I
love
want to
that
make sure
movie.
it was Bedazzled because that is like literally one of my favorite all time.
Yeah, that is hilarious. I love that movie.
So funny. So I'm glad to hear that he's getting support.
Yeah, like I said, he got a little bit. He kind of got blacklisted for speaking out about basically a sexual assault that happened to him, and you know how it is. Men aren't supposed to report that because it makes them seem weak and toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
the win.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him because he's still a good actor, and working with Aronofsky is a big deal. Hopefully, it's better than Mother, but
I still haven't watched that. I need to watch it.
it's not great.
I know,
Not great.
but I still
Not
feel
his
like
best
I need
work.
to watch it.
Yeah. A little bit more news. Like I said, I had a bunch
You
of
are
news.
really rolling.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite old white woman that you guys won't shut up about, Betty White, turned 99 today, the 17th. No. We're not doing
We
that.
don't
This
do
is my
that?
section.
We can't. We can't
sing her happy birthday.
Bitch, the whole world is singing her happy birthday with her basic old ass.
All right. That's
Wow. I'm old.
all right.
There's a bunch of other 100-year-olds that don't give a shit about it.
All right.
You're a hater. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Betty.
Betty.
We're
Yeah,
so
I'm hating
happy
because there's nothing
that you're still
extraordinary about
All
her.
right. Well, happy birthday, Betty White.
She's old. Congratulations on life.
Next.
Anyway, we got a new record set on a Japanese film. The movie is called Crazy Samurai 400 versus 1. It set a new single take record of 77 minutes.
Wait, what?
How?
Okay, the entire movie is 92 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
The one fight scene is 77 minutes in a single take.
So is it just him like walking in, putting down his jacket
Fighting
and then
400
fighting?
people.
Right.
Yeah. It is starring Tak Sakaguchi. If you know anything about like Japanese action films, he was in Versus. He was in Azumi. A bunch of films for God. The director's name is Dawn. I'm blanking on the director's name. Great director. Kind of makes very over the top hyperkinetic action movies that were huge in like the early 2000s out of Japan. The movie he's basically playing a version of Miyamoto Musashi, who is like the most famous samurai in history. And he is getting revenge for something because they done pissed him off, and he has to go and fight a shogun and his 400 assassins, and he's doing it all in one take.
For
like
77 damn
the
Right.
first like 20 minutes of the movie is like story, and then it's like
Right.
boom,
Yeah.
go.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is a crazy amount of dedication
watching
and
it?
planning,
After watching
and
Yeah.
when it comes out, it's supposed to be hitting Japanese theaters soon. But yeah, that's bonkers.
I
That's
can't
fun.
do anything but sleep for 77 minutes straight. Like, could you imagine?
No.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the person who fucks it up and they have to reset?
No. No.
Because it's not like 1917 where it's disguised to look like one take. This is legitimately one take.
So if somebody fucked it up, they could have been at minute.
You got to go back to
75.
one. Yeah.
Oh
I assume it's all CG blood. So like looking at some of the behind the scenes stuff, everybody has their swords, but they're like super dull. So if he hits you, they'll come back later and they'll add in the CG slice and stuff like that.
It's
But
still, I mean,
I'm assuming a lot of that is kind of on the fly choreography. Like,
Right.
oh, I'm going to do this. I'm pointing this way. So my sword's coming this way. Just get hit and fall.
Yeah.
So
that's still,
still
exciting.
remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a
Yeah.
feat.
Wow. Huh. All right.
That's
Anything
exciting.
else?
I talked about Batwoman. I talked about Siegfried, Chris Evans, Insecure, Morbius. I think that is everything that I had, unless something else came out within the last hour. Do you guys have anything that I might have missed?
Happy birthday, Betty White.
I already said that.
Yeah, but you didn't mean it. We mean it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, see, we mean it.
Because I didn't care.
That's not nice. No, nothing spectacular happened.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke would have been the only news that I had, but I don't know if that's confirmed or not. So
Variety
Yeah.
and
The Hollywood
Reporter are
Yeah, but they've been just as bad as some of the rumor sites lately.
Oh, I do have two two newsworthy things that I think that we should technically.
Well, there's also the news that Dave Bautista is offering $20,000 reward for information on the manatee that someone off the coast of Florida scrawled Trump onto the side of.
What?
Yeah, so you guys hadn't heard about this? They found a manatee that somebody had basically scraped the word Trump into his back, but it's not like they say the manatee wasn't hurt because they have like layers of like grime on them. So somebody basically while he was on the beach or something went by and scraped Trump into the back of this thing.
That's
Why?
horrible.
Because people are terrible and they can't just not be terrible and not be
I don't want him
satisfied
to
that their
pay
guy
anybody
lost.
$20,000. I want him to beat someone's ass. That's what I want. I would like for someone to point out to Dave Bautista who this person was, and then for him to go and literally beat the shit out of him.
Well, you don't know that that's not a thing that's going to happen.
Yeah, hopefully that's the end goal. Like, oh, here's your 20 grand. He's over there. All right,
fantastic.
I'm gonna go and body slam him through a table. Yeah, they scraped the word Trump onto the algae, kind of caked up on this manatee's back because people are terrible.
Yeah, I'm
Because of course.
disgusted.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking disgusted by that. That is terrible. See, I had happy news, and there you go with that. All right, I'm going to cleanse the
Well,
palate.
again, Florida.
Right. All right. So my three news stories are completely related to us. Don't know if all of our listeners know yet, but we are branching off and doing some different things under the Concentrated banner. So if you haven't already been watching and or listening, you should check out Cup and Saucer, which is all about Bridgerton, a Netflix hit series.
Well, it's about British stuff.
Oh,
like
oh.
we're starting with
Oh,
Bridgerton,
okay.
and then
Y'all switched
like
it up.
once
I
we
didn't
decide something, if Luther comes back, if there's a new season of Top Boy, if
Wait
there's
a minute.
if there's a new season of
Wait
British
a
Bake
minute.
Off,
He got me with the
Top Boy
Luther, and then he
Top
threw
Boy, isn't it?
Top Boy in there, and I was like,
it's very British. It's British.
All right.
We have to talk about it. It's
Fair
British.
enough. So,
It's British and near and dear to my Americanized British heart.
oh.
so
Reminds me
No.
of food, isn't it?
So if you're into all things British, you should check out our, we actually have a channel on YouTube, and it's just another set of podcasts coming up under the Concentrated banner called Cup and Saucer. That's where you can get your British fix. If you want to get all of your fixes.
It's a pun about tea.
If you want to get all of your fixes around.
Because English people drink tea,
Shut the
get it?
fuck up, Eric. If you want
Go
to get all of
ahead.
the fixes around the new MCU shows that are coming out on Disney Plus, you can definitely then check out our Heralds of the MCU. Our first episode should, by the time this is posted, should also be posted, where we're talking about the first two episodes of WandaVision. And that series will literally just follow all of the Disney Plus shows. And then for our MMA fans, if you are into MMA, we will also be launching our Throwing Bows channel, which will be literally just talk about MMA.
Throw them
Throw them
bows.
bows.
Is
and
that
we'll
the theme song?
No.
I hope so.
I mean, I would love for it to be.
I mean, if it wouldn't be like instantly demonetized,
Right, exactly,
yeah, that'd be great.
I'm not trying to be in YouTube jail, so no Not that, but I like the themes. The theme song that we picked, you feel like you should throw bows to it, so it's all good.
Maybe we should start getting popular songs and like just playing them on the recorder so we can't like get the melody. We could like sweet them, like they do with movies.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, Eric, you get your recorder skills up and you can do that. I would suck.
I gotta
could maybe
find
kaz-
mine.
I
know I
kazoo
still have
it
it.
maybe because I can play a kazoo.
I have no
Adam.
musical talent.
All right, that's the best I got. But regardless, we Concentrated is here to please, so we try to have something for everybody's fix. So definitely, check out our YouTube channels, check out the different podcasts. They'll definitely be labeled so that you know that those podcasts are Concentrated. And also, Concentrated is not going anywhere. We're still going to be here. This show will be focused on us still talking about whatever the fuck we feel like talking about, and that will continue to be the case. But you've got options now. So
Yeah, the other stuff is basically like stuff focused on, like we're specifically talking about the MCU, or we're specifically talking about British shit,
But there's also
or
there's always
specifically
tangents.
talking about people getting bowed in the
There's
face.
always tangents.
always,
Because it's
always,
us.
yeah, us and some friends.
Yes.
So it's not just us.
Right.
You'll meet some of our other friends along the way, but it's awesome. You should check them all out. We'll have links to everything, obviously, on our social media. I feel like that's worthy news, so we should just put that out there.
I like what you did. That was nice.
I aim to please.
Ooh, I don't know that
No,
you should
no,
do. No.
Okay, I was gonna go with the listener
Ooh,
chat.
see, and you guys were talking about my
no.
finger.
It's no. See
Mm-mm.
now
Oh,
look.
them
Now what you did?
bows.
No.
No, you gotta use the hard one. Go all the way. No, come on.
So
No,
getting
guys.
this right back where it needs to be.
Had to host room.
Eric,
Those
your
are hot.
comforts.
Had to host
Let's
room.
talk about it.
So,
Look, Maria said she had 3.
no, that was 3.
That was 3.
I talked about Heralds of the MCU. I
Mhm.
talked about Cup and Saucer, and I talked about
Oh, I thought she meant
Throwing
like
Bows.
3 separate
No,
stories.
I knew
Oh,
what you
okay.
meant.
Selfless plugs. That's all. So now that we've gotten through our news and our selfless plugs, it is time to start talking about these comforts. So anyone,
I think that would be our selfish plugs. Selfless would be talking about other people, but they can be our selfish plugs. It's our shit. We work hard on these.
yeah, I guess. I mean, but it is also
Yeah.
selfless because we're trying to entertain the people. We're not trying to entertain ourselves. So
That's true. This is still is all free for you guys.
Right.
Like, we're not charging
we
for
don't
this.
we don't charge. We don't have a Patreon.
Not yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you see us in the streets and you want to throw a rolled up dollar at us, go for
We'll
it. We're not
take
above it.
We're not above
yeah.
the rolled up. dollar.
I don't want you throwing a rolled up dollar at me. I would like it.
You got
No,
antibacterial
I-
spray. Just spray the
You know
dollar
how
down
I
and then
want
put it in
it?
your
I
pocket.
want it like, just folded and then given to me. I want it given to me like a drag queen. That's how I want it. I want to pluck the apple like a drag queen.
I have no idea what that means.
At a drag show.
Yeah,
I've never been to a drag show.
Oh yeah, they do it so elegantly. Like they're still performing, but they're still picking that apple. They're picking those apples. That's how I want it
Listen,
mine.
as long as you didn't say you wanted it between your ass cheeks and a thong, I'm okay with
No,
that. So
no,
whatever
it's
you
still
want,
cold
it's
out.
fine.
It's still cold out, so
It is.
yeah.
Again, just ball it up, toss it at me. I'd be like, all right,
We'll take it.
I got you.
Take it. All right, guys. So with that, we did want to spend a little bit of time this week, kind of talking about the hobbies, the things that give us some comfort in these crazy times. And we thought we would start with Eric. Well, first off, because he has one of the most amazing collections of art I've ever seen. But also, like, there are levels.
I have a dearth of hobbies. Like you think about it, and I'm probably doing it as a hobby because I have nothing better to do with my social life but collect things and build things.
It's a pandemic, dude.
Right. No.
I was doing this before the pandemic. That's why it didn't affect me so hard. People were like, "Oh my god, how are you okay?" Like, bitch, I was antisocial before this.
This my life.
It's called mental health issues, bitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all this pandemic did is save me gas and miles.
All right, so Eric, jumping into it, because for those that obviously every week we kind of talk about what's in the background of Eric when he's on camera, and he never has to use filters the way we do because he's got cool shit behind him. How did you actually get started, like, collecting this art? Like, where do you even fucking begin?
Okay, here's the thing. I do art on the side. I don't make money off of it because it's still kind of terrible. It's better than I'm gonna give myself a little pat on the back, a Rooney here. It's okay. It's not great. I wouldn't pay for my
It's
art.
okay enough
But
that Michael B. Jordan and Ava DuVernay have liked your shit.
I
So,
mean,
just Michael B. Jordan. Ava DuVernay watched the story once, so
Cara
it's okay.
Dune's ass was like, ooh, and liked it.
No, she didn't, which made me mad because I was like, all right, well, fuck you
I
then.
thought she did
That's why
like
I'm
it.
not. Nope. She watched the story, but she didn't like. She has a whole thing where she was like, she would repost fan art. She never reposted any of mine, and I'm not being that guy like making fun of little kids, but she posted a bunch of little kid shit, and it was terrible. So, good for you for drawing, kid, but mine was better. And well, fuck you. She's
Yes.
trash anyway, so
Facts.
I'm not too upset
Right.
about it. Michael B. Jordan, I'm still pretty hyped.
We
You
were
about
should
all
be like
very
your best
He
friend.
not only liked both of my pictures, but he also
He
commented.
did.
So I'll take that. Anyway, the internet helps. I read a lot of comic books. There's no lack of people making art on the internet. So you kind of just got to find what speaks to you. I'm also a huge cinephile, so movies speak to me, and movie posters speak to me. It's not uncommon that I will go to a store and to a bookstore and I'll find something like this. I apologize in advance to you if you're listening to the audio version. This is going to be a very like visual.
Yeah,
heavy
you should
thing,
go to
so
YouTube and watch the video.
Go watch the video. It'll be amazing. There's going to be all these great things that I can show you. Speaking of, I'm going to here. Boom! Oh my God! Look at that. You. So I was showing off this book. This is Tokyo Cinematographics. This is basically just a book talking about Tokyo and Japanese movie posters. I'm gonna put that
It's
down.
beautiful.
There's some nudity in there, so I don't want to flip to a page with boobies on it. But it's basically a book about Japanese movie posters from like the 70s and 80s. I buy a lot of art books. And now I got to figure out which camera to look at. I buy a lot of art books, so I got some stuff by like Shepard Fairey over here, a little bit of Banksy. I also have.
I didn't know Banksy had a book.
Banksy has several books. He publishes them, or he or she. We don't know what Banksy is.
Let's just go with they.
Yeah, they publish them through third parties, kind of like the movie that they did, Exit Through the Gift Shop. That was kind of a documentary about Banksy and Mr. Brainwash. Yeah, they're published. I don't know where the money goes. I know it's distributed. They're a whole team. So Banksy is basically its own, entity. I also have stuff like Hellboy. This is a book of nothing but covers from the first 25 years of Hellboy the comic, and this is all. This actually I bought because one, I love Hellboy, and two, this is research for a tattoo I'm planning on getting.
Oh, okay.
So-
Hold on. Oh, go ahead, Munir, because I've got questions. Go ahead. You've got questions too.
My question is, how do you get that stuff? Because like I see a lot of stuff and I'm like, ooh, I should really get that, and then I don't. So when you see it, you actually just go, ooh, I should really get that.
Yeah,
And then you get it.
the easiest way to kind of describe what I do is the thing I can think of the most is sneakerheads. Everyone knows a sneakerhead, someone who's obsessed with shoes. And you can ask any sneakerhead trying to get a pair of shoes that are like a Grail shoe or the next hot thing. It's tragic, but you kind of get hooked on that chase. You want it, you know where it's going to be, and if you can get it, then you all those endorphins in your brain just kick off. So my first official Mondo print. Mondo is the company. I also have. This one's a big boy. The Art of Mondo book. This you can get on Amazon. It's not like some of the other books that I'll show off in a minute. This is just random prints from different people. Iron Giant.
Well, fuck you for opening right there to two posters that I want.
Yeah, that's Iron Giant and Boris Karloff's The Mummy. Companies like Mondo, they got their start basically doing. Their one of their owners is Tim League. He is the owner of the Alamo Drafthouse, the movie theater chain. When they were first getting started in Alamo, Texas, they would do movie marathons and they would have local artists make posters. So if we were like, oh, we're going to show Ghostbusters 1 and 2, here's a poster for it. And then people will come out. And after a while, people were like, these are really good. Can I buy the poster? So after a while, they started selling the posters and they were like, oh, okay, well, we're starting to get more popular. We're getting licenses from official, like we can buy the license to make a product. So they were getting licenses and they were like, well, let's sell these posters. So I have all over my walls some stuff, some old Mondo stuff, some new Mondo stuff. Mondo is the biggest name in like third-party alternative posters. There's also, you can Google alternativemovieposters.com. They are basically a site that keeps like a record of not just Mondo stuff. Like if I were to make a poster myself and submit it as my alternative poster, it might not be a print, but you could go there and see my work. Like if I did a poster for Baby Driver, I could go there and submit it, and they would have that poster, and you could see it online. And then you could. The best part about something like that is if you saw it and it had all my information there, you could contact me and give me work
To
as
commission.
artist to commission to
Right.
to do something. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to show you guys. Taking this guy.
Are you taking the mic with you?
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not actually getting up. But like
Okay.
this poster behind me is for the Quentin Tarantino, Tony Scott movie True Romance. The artist that did this is Tyler Stout. He is one of the most popular artists making posters because of his kind of unique style. This was one of my Grail prints because I didn't have any Tyler Stout posters.
Okay.
So
And
it's
for our listeners, what do you mean when you say Grail print?
Grail print is basically my way of saying this is one of the things that I'm searching the hardest for. Like everyone's going to be different. So like
Okay.
a lot of people, Star Wars prints are theirs. I will show you guys. Well, I can probably show it because it's in the hall. It's a series of prints that are for Star Wars, the original trilogy, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. But they are done by the artist Olly Moss. I'm gonna walk over.
Did you want to blink and you're there? So turn your camera off and then just be there.
Yeah.
Would that be better?
Hang on, I'm gonna take this with me, and I might yell a little bit.
So Eric's for our listeners that are like, where did Eric go? That aren't watching. He's in the process of getting up. We are going to get a little bit of a tour of all of the artwork. So he's kind of just showing us some stuff. So right now, on the screen, if you're watching, you'll see these amazing Star Wars posters.
Coming back.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, while you're standing, I was gonna say just do a spin around because, like, for our listeners and for our viewers, like when we say that Eric is deep in the art game, like literally every wall.
I'll give you guys a quick rotated view. Like the way that we have the new camera setup, you might not be able to see everything, but there's some stuff over there. That is a Mad Max print by local artist Kelsey Wales. You can look her up. She makes amazing prints. I got some Samurai Jack stuff, a little bit of Batman, some RoboCop, Iron Giant, Planet of the Apes. There's stuff on every wall in here, and this is just my living room. Some of another option, you probably can't even see it from this angle. There is a Watchmen print over there done by artist. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Is that the Dr. Manhattan one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so pretty.
That's another Mad Max print right there. You have the Marvel.
That's my other favorite.
Yeah. So there's one. It's the first 10 years Marvel set that is all the villains on one side and all the heroes on the other. You got some more Shepard Fairey. You got Drew Struzan, who I'll talk a little bit more about in a second. You have a Hellboy Shrunken Head that's done by local artist Nick DeFabio.
That's one of Nick's pieces. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did that a long time ago. I got some Blade Runner stuff. You can't see them above. Those Mad Max and Immortan Joe are done by artist Mike Mitchell. And then there's all these little guys. You have these are from the series Eyes Without a Face by Jason Edmiston. Great artist. He basically does these pop culture things that are straight in the face. Baby Yoda, of course.
I wish you had your Ichi the Killer in there though, because that Ichi the Killer is one of the most amazing pieces of art I've ever seen, and I love it so much.
So moving back, that's just an example of some of the stuff in my living room.
Yeah, that's just his living room. Like, guys, literally every wall in his house is covered.
Yeah.
Just about. Right? You've gotten everything up, or do you still have stuff in your portfolio?
No, you probably could have seen it when I was in that corner. There is a large portfolio for flat art that is filled to the brim currently. I have 4 things that came in this week that are in tubes, including behind me, there is the print for True Romance by Tyler Stout that I mentioned. I have his Terminator print. He did a Terminator 1 print. But it's one of his few new prints. He's doing 100% by himself. He bought the license to use and make an officially licensed Terminator print.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, he did it on his site. He was not able to secure the likeness rights to Arnold Schwarzenegger. So
man.
his poster is like, instead of having Schwarzenegger, it has like an outline of Schwarzenegger, and it has like T-800s without the skin. So
Still
Yeah.
pretty boss though.
yeah, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
It would have been better had he been able to get the rights, but that's just one of the examples of things that happen when you deal with independent artists and trying to buy the likeness rights and the rights to make things. So it's not like, a lot of times you'll get people who be like, oh, like, it's kind of annoying. I'm in a bunch of poster groups on like Facebook and Instagram, and something will come out and it'll be out for a week, like an Amazon show. That's kind of cool. Someone will immediately pop up and go, why isn't there a print for this? Like, you don't need prints for everything. Like, let it happen. The problem is, a lot of times, back when movie theaters were a thing, remember that millions of years ago? A new movie would come out, and Mondo would get something like the license to make a poster for it. They'd make the poster, and it would be okay, but people were not flocking to buy it because they don't know the property. So it'll come out, and then it'll sell out, or it'll just sit there. Like, if you go to Mondo right now, people are always like, oh, well, Mondo never has anything. They have things on their website. They're just not for properties that people like. They did a whole run on Ninja Turtles, but they did Ninja Turtles the cartoon, Ninja Turtles the movies, Ninja Turtles the live action. So some of the lesser known Ninja Turtle stuff is still available on their website. They have some like Pixar stuff for Inside Out that didn't do too well, that people weren't really into. So that's why you don't have prints of everything. At the same time, there are prints that people would complain are properties that are overused. You ask any print enthusiast, they'll tell you that there's too many Star Wars prints. And
I was going to ask you
I
what's
can see that.
saturating the
it's
market.
very oversaturating. Like with The Mandalorian, even though it's a great success, there's no shortage of Mandalorian prints. Like this year, actually, no, it was 2020 was the 40-year anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. So, sorry, I was just reading the comments we have here. So, they did a 40th anniversary thing through Bottleneck Gallery is another great thing. They're kind of like Mondo, where they'll commission artists and they'll have prints done for properties that they have the license for. That Drew Struzan that I mentioned over here, it's Pan's Labyrinth print. I don't know if you guys can see it. Well, you probably can't see it right now, but that was done through Bottleneck Gallery. I went all the way to New York. And it's signed by Drew Struzan himself. Drew Struzan, if you don't know, is one of the OG poster artists. When you go to see a movie theater, in a movie theater, they have what's called a one sheet. That is the official movie print. And lately, it's like a really bad Photoshop job where they like paste everyone's head on, and this is your movie. Back in the day, you had people like Drew Struzan who were hired by companies to make these official posters. Some of his most famous ones include the original poster for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The Goonies is another one of his personal like best. All the Back to the Future movies, he did the original paintings for those. He even did when they did The Mist, and they had he was painting Thomas Jane's character was painting the gunslinger from the Dark Tower. That was actually Drew Struzan's painting that he made for the Dark Tower.
Oh shit. Okay.
So Drew Struzan has more forgotten pieces than most people have ever made. One of his most famous ones is the poster for The Thing, the original, well, not the original, but the John Carpenter thing from 1982. That is his poster. And that's when you see The Thing, that's the poster everyone shows. That is Drew Struzan. He's still alive and still making prints, which is amazing.
Wow. So
I met him at MondoCon.
did you get an autograph or a picture with him?
No.
It didn't happen. You're a liar.
That's not okay.
It
That's
was
not
very expensive. It was worth it, but that's the other thing about prints is the price. If you're lucky, here's the thing. Much like with sneakers, when something is announced, it'll pop up on like Mondo, or they'll put it on their Twitter or their Facebook or whatever, and they'll tell you, okay, here's the regular. There's always going to be a variant. If there's not a variant, it's because of some type of licensing rules with the studio or the artist. So they'll pop up and they'll be like, this print is available. It's going to be $50 for a 2436. 2436 is this size, standard movie poster size, which 50 to $60 is standard. But the problem is they will tell you that there's only 150 of these available, or 300. So the variant is usually going to be about half of what the regular is. So if there's 150 available for the regular, there's going to be, well, if there's 160 available for the regular, there's going to be 80 available for the variant. So what they do is they tell you what time it's going to drop, and you have to, you know, have your credit card ready, have your information already
It's
filled out.
literally like a sneaker drop.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you're lucky, you get it. If you're not, you get beat out by bots. One thing that is a little bit better though is nowadays they don't do lotteries, kind of like how like the Nike sneakers app is, where if you want something, you are sitting in a queue to be able to buy it. They don't do that. Mondo used to do at a random time, which people like me, which is why I have so many, I figured out the block of time when that random time was, and I would sit there with my finger on the F5 refreshing every like 30 seconds. And even then I lost a lot. So now they just straight up tell you, this is the drop, this is when it's happening. Like if you go to the Mondo's web, mondonews.com, they have, or I think it's mondoshop.com now.
It's Mondo Shop.
They have a thing at the top called the drop. The drop, basically click on it and it tells you when the next available purchase is going to be happening. And and that face that Maria just made means that she saw something that
she likes. Yeah.
No, Manira, seriously, there is this beautiful Phantom of the Opera variant.
I know. Yes. I have that on my email. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about getting it for my mom.
I wanted that Katamari Damacy that they dropped.
Yeah, the Katamari Damacy is beautiful.
And shit sold out in about 3 minutes. That's it. These things will sell out in, on a good day, 3 to 5 minutes. On a bad day, a minute and a half.
My question is, how do you like to get your like prints? Like, what is your favorite way of getting your print?
What do you mean?
Like, do you like the rush of the drop? Do you like just finding one and getting it? How do you like doing it?
I like the rush. Like if it's something that pops up and it's like, take for example, that Katamari Damacy print. I played Katamari Damacy when it came out in the early 2000s on the PlayStation. And I personally enjoy the game. It's one of my favorite games because it's so simplistic. It's very kooky and quirky, and it's you know, it's a genuine good time for anyone that plays it. When they announced it, I went to try and get it, and had I gotten it, I would have been peachy keen because I think that would have been something. Yeah, it's a $50 print, which I think is a great price for that.
Right.
And it was a what size was that? Was it a 24, 36, 1824? 1824 is a little bit smaller. That's this guy right here, if you can see it, just a little bit smaller. Yeah. But I didn't get it. Sold out in like 3 minutes. So it's not something that I would go out of my way. That's the dark side of poster trading or poster buying. If you don't get something, it's usually because a bot bought it or someone who had a quicker trigger finger. And then if this goes live at 12 and they're sold it by 12:05, at 12:06 you can go on eBay and see somebody selling it for double the price that it just sold for.
Yeah.
And it hurts you inside.
Yeah.
It hurts my soul.
So how often do you actually buy on the resale market?
I can count on my hands how many times I've done it. Literally, my first Mondo I bought on resale. My second, I actually caught. And my first was originally Shepard Fairey, the artist behind like the Obey and the We the People posters, the Obama Hope poster. Shepard Fairey did. He did a print for Mondo's showing of They Live in Texas. And I paid $300 for that print. And I sold it like a year later. And one of my biggest regrets, because I love that print and it's very hard to find now. My second was, I'm looking at it, it's on my left. It is for the Korean film I Saw the Devil. And it is by artist Kevin Tong, who also did that Watchmen poster that I was talking about. He's one of my favorite artists. Really nice guy. I got to meet him at MondoCon. And he's a lefty. So when I met him and I found that out, I didn't know it in advance. And I saw him signing the print. And I was like, oh, all right, you're one of us. Nice.
How far would you travel to get a print?
The furthest I've traveled so far is Texas, Austin, Texas. Mondo, the company Mondo, they do a convention once a year where they have since like 2015. They didn't do one in 2020 for obvious reasons. Maria, what did you just find?
So as as you're talking, I was like, let me go look up Kevin Tong, and it took me to his Shopify site.
Tragic Sunshine.
Yes, and
Yeah.
everything here is
So
so
beautiful.
pretty.
Get out of there,
Everything
Maria.
is
That in a
so
second.
pretty.
I went to MondoCon, and they like all of the artists have individual booths there. So like when an artist makes a print for somebody like Mondo gets their 150, 300 to sell, and then the artists will get what is called artist proofs or APs. So the artists can sell them themselves through their personal website usually it's like after a certain number of weeks have gone by and everyone has already been all the orders have been fulfilled.
Mhm.
So when they go to cons like MondoCon, they'll take stuff that they have in their vaults or their flat files and they'll sell it to the consumer directly. And you might pay just a couple bucks more than the original price, which is great. And I don't mind that. Like when I went to MondoCon, I have actually I'll show it to you guys. It's a must if you want to be a poster collector. And like when conventions are a thing again, you can go to like New York Comic Con or KatsuCon, any place where you have fellow nerds. There's going to be artists in the artist alley selling their own prints and posters.
Mm-hmm.
You should see those people and like give them money.
Yeah.
They're legitimately like, unless they're doing that shitty Photoshop thing where they take somebody else's art and put a filter on it and sell it. Fuck those people. That's a whole nother rant. Anyone who works in the art community knows that, and they fucking hate those people. What I was going to mention is that tube right there with all the stickers on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is a hard shell poster tube.
Okay.
Ah.
And if you're collecting prints, that's the way to go because you can take it on airplanes. It's scannable through X-ray machines, and B, it is made of like PVC piping, and it is damn near indestructible unless you like run it over with a car. So when you buy prints from an artist directly, they're not going to sell it to you in a tube because then they'd have to carry around tons of tubes.
Right.
Whereas instead they can take it flat, which is the preferred way, and as you buy it, you roll it up yourself and put it in your tube. It also prevents gorilla gripping, which is there's a million and one terminology things that people in the groups use. Gorilla gripping is when you grip it too tight and you end up creating a crease in your print.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it basically worthless to anyone but you.
Okay. I have a
Oh.
question.
Yes.
Again, Maria, do you have a question or are you still looking?
No. Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
My question is, what kind of art do you like besides like movie art? Like when you look at art, what kind of art are you looking for?
It's all a stylistic thing for me. Like if I see something that I really enjoy, like for example, like Banksy stuff, it just stuff that like they got their start in like stencil work and graffiti. I'm also very big on like street art, so stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's I can't tell you what to look for. It's what catches your eye. Like
No, not for me. I know what I like. No, I mean like what do you like? If we were like at a museum, what would you gravitate towards? Like what would catch your eye?
If it's classical stuff, God, what was the period of art? This is why I got an A+ in art history. I prefer artists like Caravaggio. I enjoy Van Gogh a little bit, but like I'm not a classic art person. I know the certain styles and the certain artists that speak to me when I see them.
Mm-hmm.
When you see like classic Renaissance paintings and they're like they all look like a weird meme. That's kind of what I'm into.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to assume. Do you know what I mean?
Like Caravaggio's in particular, like when I took art history, like I got to get familiar with a lot of his stuff, and I was like, this is amazing. If I was back in Renaissance times, I'd be like, this guy's the fucking shit, you guys.
I'm gonna follow him.
Fuck Van Gogh. Don't you Van Gogh the fuck out of here. It's all about my man Caravaggio over here.
Why don't you Van Gogh dear Lord. So let me ask you something, and I mean no disrespect with this question.
I would be a classical art pipe boy.
What is the difference in these artists that are creating these prints, sometimes through collaborations with like Mondo, but obviously like Kevin Tong, like they have their own site and they're doing their own thing. What makes that so different from fan art, right? People that are just out there creating art for things that they love and posting them online. What makes them different? Is there a difference?
There is a difference. Legality wise, the difference is people like Kevin Tong or Drew Struzan or Tyler Stout, they're paid by a company who has the official licensing to make that art. So like their stuff you're not going to find at a regular con. If you go, like sometimes they'll do stuff if they have their own booth at like New York Comic Con or Awesome Con or something like that. You'll see them and they'll be selling like Comic Con exclusives, which you can't get anywhere else, which is great. They'll have a very limited supply. Whereas someone like me, if I decided to like take that picture of Michael B. Jordan I drew and print it out and sold it at con, technically that's illegal. There's a very thin gray line when it comes to like the legality of fan art and selling fan art. I'm not an expert at it. I have a lot of friends that like do, Artist Alley at cons. So like they would know a little bit more. And it like I said, it's a gray area. Like one of the people that you enjoy. When we went to Universal Studios. What's the artists that do the Harry Potter prints?
Mina Lima.
Yeah, Mina Lima.
They have the license to Harry Potter to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas someone else who would be doing Harry Potter prints might not have the license, and they're selling it off of their own. Like you go to Etsy, you'll find 1,000,001 things, and places like Etsy, Redbubble, TeePublic. It's all about like what you put in the description. If you don't put like perfect example, I did a Captain Marvel thing that I wanted to get put on T-shirts, and when I uploaded it to Redbubble, it was up there for maybe an hour, and it got flagged by Disney, and they removed it.
Do you think it was too good?
No, it wasn't great. I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn. It was good, but like you can go on TeePublic right now or Redbubble and type in Captain Marvel and get 1,000,000 results and get a knockoff Captain Marvel T-shirt.
That's why I'm like, well, why did they pick out yours?
I don't know. I haven't figured out the math of the algorithm and how it works, but some people can get away with it. Some people can't. Like if you type in lady superhero, then it'll probably pop up and you'll have Captain Marvel. But I don't know.
Now, for any of our listeners who, like me, super admire your walls and want to figure out how to get started, where do you start?
One, if it's about movies, like if you enjoy a movie and you're like, this is my favorite movie, I want to find a print of it. Your best bet, Pinterest. Pinterest has a lot of art by famous artists and printmakers. From there, you go to places like Mondo. Mondo has an archive on their website. You can search by different or you can search by properties, stuff that they've had a license for. You will not be able to find a lot of their prints that are still available because, again, supply and demand. It's like with sneaker shopping. If everyone can have it, then it's not special anymore. Right. That's basically what it boils down to, especially when it comes to art. If everyone can go and get this Tyler Stout, then I don't want it anymore. Like every now and again, it's becoming a bit more common now because a lot of people are getting interested in like posters. So places like Mondo or Bottleneck Gallery, especially if it's a big release, they'll do 3 versions of a print. They'll do a standard, they'll do a variant, and then they'll do a timed edition. A timed edition is basically, instead of saying we have 150 copies, we're going to sell this from Friday at noon to Sunday at midnight. And anyone that places an order between that time period gets a print. You won't get it as fast as the regular and the variant because those are already printed. We have those, but say 1,000 people buy it between Friday and Sunday, then they go back to the printer and go, oh, okay, the 3rd version, we need 1,000 copies of it, and then we'll send it out. So everyone can get a copy. They did it for like Wonder Woman 84 recently. They usually do it for like the big stuff. So like Star Wars, Wonder Woman, things like that.
But generally, like if you want to be an elitist about it, the variants are like the top end, right?
The variants are what's going to, if you're into like flipping, variants are what's going to get you the most money. And again, that really depends on the variant. And
right, 'cause they're not always cute.
No, it's that special sauce that you don't know how to figure out. Like sometimes, like this is a variant. This Tyler Stout, that's not the normal color. This is like a sepia variant. Mm-hmm. I like that version. I didn't like the original coloring. I really would prefer the all silver variant, but this is the one that I could find that was less than $300. Certain prints like this, I'll see if you guys can see it. The Harley Quinn in the corner. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is the variant. It's all red. The regular one has a white background, but didn't sell as well. Also, shout out to UPS, who, when I originally sold that print for $250, they fucked it up, and I had to give the guy a refund. And now I can't do anything with that print except put it on my wall and hope nobody looks at it too closely. The only person who would look at it that closely would be me and some other annoying poster nerd who'd be like, "Oh, I can see the indents." Fuck you.
Oh.
Yeah, they tried to tell me that it wasn't them, but when they gave me the tube back that came in, it was bowed in, like as someone had driven over it. So they cost me money, so fuck UPS.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean that's par for the course. Like, it's
Yeah,
Sure.
pretty much. All right. Well, I can't think of any other questions right now.
I can give you a good place to start.
Okay.
So let's say you have a favorite property. This is a new thing, and I'm really happy that it's happening. Companies like Mondo and Gray Matter Art is another great studio. You can look them up. They usually have a print or two that is still available. They're doing poster books now. So they won't be the 2436 or the 1824s. They're usually like 11 by 17 or 12 by 16. They're smaller variants. So like Mondo recently put out a Mondo Marvel book, which is basically a collection of books of prints for Marvel properties that they've done. So like
beautiful.
they did this one. This is a Daredevil print. I don't know if you can see it really with the glare, but this is way smaller than a normal print. Like it doesn't even fit correctly because this frame is too big, but like you can get the poster books, and this is, I believe, an 1117, which is great. If you can find the stuff like, I forgot to mention it when I showed you guys the Star Wars prints in the hall, the Olly Moss prints. Those are fakes. The only people that would know this are people like me and other poster nerds. Those prints are actually supposed to be 2436. They're supposed to be the big boys,
Well, I mean, in
like the
fairness,
Skylar
now
Stout.
the whole internet knows they're fakes. That Eric
Well, yeah.
as well, because you just told everybody.
But again,
The whole
anyone
not coming to his house though.
no. Anyone with the knowledge of posters or artists would see that in this video and go, "Oh, he's got fucking fakes." I bought those from a guy on eBay for like $20. He printed them out probably at home. They look like shit unless you're right up on them. That being said, I've seen the originals in person at MondoCon. They went for auction. Do you want to know why mine are fake?
Yes.
Because those cost me like $25. The originals went for sale at MondoCon for $8,000
Holy
A piece
shit.
or together?
for the set of 3. I literally watched a man.
$8,000 for fucking movie posters?
Even better, Mondo and Alamo over the holidays they did a poster auction to help the Alamo Draft House workers with Corona. So they sold another set of those, and they went for like 14.
Wow.
Yeah. They look amazing in person. Like I could not stop looking at them. They had some of these like holy grail prints, and they were for a silent auction where you went and you wrote, like you put what you bid, and they had the Martin Anson Ghost in the Shell, not for the Scarlett Johansson movie, but for the original anime.
Original, yeah.
It is a holy grail print. Those Olly Moss prints, they're holy grail prints. These are like the prints where you're like, okay, I'm okay missing a house payment or eating ramen for a couple months, or maybe I don't need 2 kiddies to live. Those are the things that you do when those come your way. Like if you're in that situation, like I watched this guy call his wife back in Australia and be like, "Hey, I'm about to spend $8,000 on these." And I don't know what she said over the phone to him, but he was like, "Okay." And he gave the man his bank information, and they shipped him to him.
She said, "Listen, don't get back on that plane until you make that money back. I don't care how you make it back. But
Yeah.
You better sell that booty.
Right,
Yeah, he
sell
was turning
that
some tricks before he
sweet
flew back.
booty.
Yeah. Some of those I watched go, and I was like, oh my God. At that point I had already spent $1,000 at MondoCon, but I came back with like at least a dozen prints.
Yeah.
They like the Watchmen one from Kevin Tong was my grail
love that
print.
so much.
And fun fact, it glows in the dark.
Oh, bitch, I know. I've been in
Yeah.
I've seen it.
That was the one, like almost on my last day. It was his very last one. It was just kind of a weird circumstance. He was like, "Yeah, I need to sell these," and This is like my last print that I have of this one. You're not even getting one that was under the table. You're getting the one straight out of the frame.
And you're like, sell it to me. Like, stop
Yeah.
talking about it and just
I
sell
was
it to
like,
me.
here's the money. Take my money. Let's be best friends.
Right.
Mhm.
You're a lefty. I'm a lefty too. Yeah, we can be homies. Come on, let's go. But yeah, I was very careful at packing my tube for the way back because like I worked it out and it became like a big sushi roll that I got into that tube and took everything home. Totally worth it.
Do you have anything that you're like still looking for and have?
Oh yeah, I still have plenty of grails that I'm looking for. It's one of those things where like the Facebook groups are kind of the most dangerous because they have groups for just talking about posters and there's groups for like buying, selling, or trading. Mm-hmm. So every now and again, someone will pop up and be like, "Hey, I'm in search of this and I'm looking for this variant or this quality. Mm-hmm. And this is as much as I'm willing to pay." Mm-hmm. And if I look, sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, I have that. I'm not super attached to it. It'd be nice to make an extra $200."
Right.
Lately, I haven't been doing it because I'm, thankfully in a better financial place. So I'm not really, selling as much.
You're collecting now.
Yeah, like I said, I have tons of stuff in the portfolio over there. I have a bunch of stuff that I haven't even taken out of the original tubes yet. And I'm a sucker for like a mystery prints. Places like Mondo and Bottleneck, they'll do mystery grabs where they'll sell you a print with like 5 or 6 different. They'll sell you a tube with like 5 or 6 different prints. You don't get to choose. You know where like what like one print is out of the bundle, and then they show up and you're like, "Oh, this is cool. This is cool. This is crap. I can trade that." Stuff like that. It becomes a game.
Well, it sounds like a pretty expensive game for.
Oh, it definitely is.
Okay,
Like the stuff on these walls is. Yeah, I probably would have bought a house a lot sooner had I not bought some of the things in here.
And you have it all like you have your stuff insured though, right?
I mean, homeowners insurance covers some of it. Like, there's nothing in here where, outside of maybe the Drew Struzan, which, if you look online right now, it's probably going for maybe like $600 or $700. Mm-hmm. That's probably the most expensive one, worth-wise, that I have. A couple of these other ones are $300-$400, but like that's the most expensive. But at the same time, I'm not looking to sell anything unless if a good trade were to come along. Like if it was, there's a Oh Brother Where Art Thou print that I've been looking for. It's my favorite movie of all time. But there's not a lot of prints for it. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where if I were to find that, I would think, what in here would I be willing to trade for?
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't just go like I do my best to avoid the eBay market because it feels like a slap in the face. To the artist, to the consumer, and basically everyone involved. So much so that companies like Bottleneck Gallery, now when they do a big print release, if you buy it from them and they have someone who will search eBay for that print right after the sale finishes. And if they see you selling it, they will cancel your order before they ship it to you. Yeah. So if it's a lot, they'll come back on like their Twitter or Facebook and they'll be like, "Hey, we had a bunch of orders open up because people are trash and we want to give it back to the people who actually want this."
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Yeah. So that's been a big thing that I'm very happy about lately.
Cool. All right. Well, with that, Eric, thank you so much for like sharing with us and letting us look at your artwork and really educating us. Because I tell you all the time how much I love your artwork. I'd love to buy some art. I don't even know where to start, but now I do. So I think, do we have some grab bags this week, Manera?
Oh,
Yes, no, maybe?
No, we don't.
No. Okay.
No, I don't think anyone. We had a lot of like interaction. Like I posted a bunch of pictures of some of the stuff in here, and people were very excited to see it. But like no one was like, "Well, where do I get that?" I'm assuming everyone looked and went, "That looks expensive. I'll just listen to you talk about it."
That's probably what happened.
I'm used to that.
That's definitely what I did because I can't afford to be buying this stuff. But for our listeners and our viewers, definitely if after you listen to this or after you watch this, you have any questions or comments, definitely comment below on the video if you're watching the video for sure and subscribe. Mm-hmm. And otherwise you can definitely reach out to us on our Twitter, on our Instagram. Our handle on both is @concentratedpod. You can send us an email to concentratedpodcast@gmail.com.
Also, what I'll do is after you post the video, I'll go on YouTube and I'll leave a bunch of links to like different artists and sites where you can, like, if you're trying to get started or if you're just trying to look for other examples of things that, might tickle your fancy. Because it's not just about movies. There's like, this week I got prints from an artist, Sarah Jonicus, who does these amazing like posters I got her print called Unravel, and it's like a mummy but a beautiful woman. And I got a couple of her prints recently, and they're absolutely gorgeous. But they're not about movies. It's just legitimately art.
That's exciting.
Well, I'm going to go one step further with that and just encourage our listeners that if you're interested in art, like there's a lot of amazing artists out there that are trying to, sell and live their passion through their artwork. So, definitely support
The best thing that you
local,
can do for an
unfamous
artist,
artists.
commission them.
Yeah.
If you have an idea and you see an artist that you're like, I really like your style, hit them up on Instagram, hit them up somewhere, but be ready to pay them the money that they're worth.
Yes.
Like if you have an idea, it's the same thing if you want someone to draw your tattoo or draw your logo for something. Pay them, work with them, tell them exactly what you want. That's how art works on demand.
So wait a second. So would I be terrible for giving a shameless plug for my kid who actually is one of those artists doing
No, she is a legitimate artist for commission. Yeah, that's how she makes her living. Pay that woman.
Literally, if you guys visit Amco Art, Amanda Corbett, that's my daughter. She's got a lot of really, really cool illustrations, and she also does commission work. And there's a bunch of other artists like her as well. I mean, obviously I didn't birth the rest of them, so clearly I want you to go check out my kid's site, but you should be doing this regardless because there are tons of super creative, super talented people that need to be supported. And as much as we, all pillage and pirate on the internet, sometimes it's good to actually put something back into that economy.
Yes.
Yeah. And when cons are a thing again, where you can walk around a con and go to Artist Alley, buy someone's art. Mm-hmm. Buy some stuff, strike up a conversation. Don't be creepy though. Don't ask for free shit. Like get them to make what you want, but pay them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what makes artists happy?
Money.
Doing something they love and being able to eat at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Eating is good. I like food, and so do artists. All right, guys. Well, as always, we definitely want to thank you for watching, for listening, for being part of our little family here. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I already told you how to reach out. Again, if you're watching the video, comment. If you're listening to the podcast, you definitely, if you haven't already rated us and left a review, you should, and you should also get in contact with us. Next week, Manira will be up talking to us about her comfort thing. Oh, that's the hint. It's just you with your pinky up.
Yep.
Are you smoking an invisible joint? What are you doing?
Isn't that? No.
No, you got the pinky up too.
No,
I mean, when I smoke a J, my pinky's always up.
Yeah, you tell us, Snoop Dogg. What are you talking about?
No, we're talking about teas, bitch, teas.
And not t-shirts, like tea that you drink.
Nope.
Oh yeah, no, like tea, like cup and salsa and biscuits and teas. Like
be ready to be real hyped or like kind of chill if you want some sleepy time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're running the gambit. We
are running the gambit, and hopefully, us sharing our comforts with you will give you some comfort while we're still continuing to go through this pandemic, which looks like we're going to be here. At least
through the summer.
Yeah,
yep.
at least through the summer. Just
give you something to spend some money on. Maybe build up a hobby.
Exactly.
Beware, they're all expensive.
Yeah. Nothing fun is cheap.
No. Yeah, nothing fun is cheap. All right, guys. Well, with that, check out the rest of our shows this week. Lord knows you'll have plenty out there to listen to and watch. As always, stay safe, wear your mask, socially distance, wash your hands, be responsible. Don't be a fuck boy or a fuck girl, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Don't be a fuck they them either.
Or
don't do that.
Don't be a fuck they them either. All right.
We care about your agency, but don't be a fuck person.
That's it.
I love that.
Everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.